what does having a neuro performance coach on staff even look like? Like if we've got a team, often teams have an athletic trainer attached. They might have a physical therapist attached, massage therapist. I don't think occupational therapy gets into sport environments much. You probably have a orthopedic surgeon. You might have a general head of medical, like a doctor, thinking like the big organizations. So where does a neuro-athletic performance coach fit into that? I thought that it's been on my mind. It's like, man, it's World Cup driven. It's like, man, what if I'm a part of Belgium and we have a off-field itinerary that avoids Courtois going down, the center midfielders going down. Like they had a shocking amount of muscle problems and injuries late in the tournament that looked like that was a team, but they fell apart. And I always wonder, I wonder what their day looked like. I wonder what they were doing. I wonder how their day was impacting their neurology, because their neurology is what failed them, not their quad, not their hip flexor, not their hamstring, not their low back, whatever was hurting. That is a brain issue. Your brain creates the pain response. It's not mechanical. We used to think it was mechanical. That started to shift in the 1960s, but our model of healthcare had already accelerated forward. That new information is not coming in here. We built our business, and that is going to stay. So new information is very hard to sneak into anywhere like that. So that's what I've been thinking. Like, man, if I'm with them and I get free reign, ultimately, Joe, we trust you. Go for it. Make our athletes as awesome as you can. Make them injury resilient. Get them back on the field faster. Work with all of our staff to streamline every athlete and every decision that we make to be about the brain, not about the body. You do things to your body. If it works, that's because you changed your brain. That's not because you changed your body necessarily. You changed the representation of your body in here. If you didn't know, you have lots of maps of your body in your brain. They're all responsible for different things. Here's a map of joint positions. Here's a map of our internal environment, and here's our gut map. Here is our skin map. Here is our muscle map, our fascia map. We have multiple vision maps. Like where we're going is all about this. And I wonder what some of these teams are up to, especially the ones that got knocked out well before they should have. Like even the United States, 4 mistakes in a must-win game. That's a brain problem. So what does it look like? You have all of these people on staff, yet guys are still getting hurt. You're still losing in places that you should not lose. And what's the missing piece of all of these staffs? No one's looking at applied neurology. No one's looking at the environment going, is this an environment that is threatening for brains? Is it taxing for brains? Is it great for brains? We're not thinking at a neurologic level. So what does it look like having a neuro-athletic performance coach on your staff? Number one, every athlete gets a comprehensive neurologic assessment. Probably take about 2 hours is typical for how long I take at least. And it's all filmed. Every assessment is filmed. So we know what their gait looks like. We know all of their vision skill function. We know all of their vestibular function. We've got information on their receptors. We've got information on their peripheral nerves, their spinal cord, thalamus, brainstem, cerebellum, cortex, insular cortex. We've got information on all of this. They get tested every 6 months. Because if something changed within that 6-month period and we see an assessment change and it doesn't get improved, that is a little bit less, or that's a little bit more likely they get hurt. That's a little bit more likely they underperform, so on and so forth. And if you add things over time, then it leads to something bigger. Small details do lead to big changes. I heard one guy in one of the matches, the commentator goes, this has nothing to do with small details. This is everything about like wanting it more. It's like, you're probably the furthest away from understanding how a brain works with that statement. That's how I know. You've never thought about how your brain works. And he was a pro soccer player, so I don't blame him. Like, there's no way he's ever really contemplated, how does everything work anyway? How do I do this? Well, that's brain driven. That's not a body thing. Your body provides feedback. So I'm on staff, one of me is on staff, a neuro-athletic performance coach, and athletes are getting assessed every 6 months. We've got we've got all of it recorded on video. Then there are breakout sessions where I ultimately create a schedule and say, this is when I'm available to see athletes. I will see a new athlete every, we'll call them 45-minute sessions for right now. I will see an individual athlete for 45 minutes. We will connect their health history to the assessments, their most current assessments, and we will train. What does applied neurology look like? We have a test. That test, I have my own neurologic tests. Watching someone walk is a window into brain function. Looking at eye movements you can't fake that. So we will know if, hey, we do this and that gets better, something that we want to continue doing. We could look at cerebellar assessments and balance. So I have watch and walk, do all these weird cerebellar assessments on both sides. Again, we film it all so we don't have to wonder. Like, I work subjectively. Like, the real world is not scientific research. It is, that's better, that's worse. That's what people care about. So I'm in the real world with real application, and it is that simple. Better or not. We just want to keep going for better. And I see athletes get better all the time. But if you waited for the research, we're probably not going to get there. Like, it's not sexy. A vision drill, how are you going to make a ton of money on that? We need the vision training equipment. We need the pill to improve your vision. Something like that. Like, it's not good enough to just do something and go, that's better. It's great for the individual and the person, but it's not good for a business model. So I work with the individuals. We are hunting for what they need neurologically to improve their performance more consistently with less injuries. So they can bring their own tests. Hey, a soccer player working on their weak foot, a pitcher working on their curveball, a volleyball player working on their outside hitting, a libero digging out a ball on the ground, getting down faster, a softball player hitting a ball better, a baseball player hitting a ball better. Can't test on base percentage. That would be another level of the neuroathletic side of things on the global stage. But right now we're at the individual athlete training part. You name the sport, there's a way to improve it. I've worked with snapshots with hockey players. I've worked with back problems in football players. I haven't worked with any tennis players. I'd love to. I've worked with golfers and their putting. So much fun, by the way. Seeing a kid putt this way, do a vision drill that they need, and have them putt better. It's so fun. And that's the real world that we're going into. Change can happen a lot faster than it currently is. But again, change now. What about my 6 to 8 week program that you need to pay for? I don't have one. I have, let's make you better as fast as we can, and let's just keep doing that. Like, if pro top level all time is what's possible, how close can we get you there? I don't know the answer to that. I just have the process to go, I can help you get better. So the athletes on that team now are training neurologically. They have their own drills. They need to do those drills daily. If they aren't doing those drills daily, then we shift towards behavior modification tools. Say, why aren't you doing the drills? Well, this, that, the other. And we just work through the process of behavior change. It's actually a process too. You can say, do this. Most people don't. Talk to most people in the health, wellness, performance industry. Hey, what's your compliance rate on people doing the things that you want them to do when they're not with you? It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Most people have complaints about it. But if you don't understand behavior and how it's formed neurologically, good luck. You can tell a person do something until you're beat red in the face and they will never do it. You actually have to work on it and you have to find what's right for that individual. So they would have their own drills. They would be doing those drills as activation before training, activation before matches, at post-match, post-game, post-training recovery. And then we would use them in their off time. We would just create kind of drill time. So every athlete on your squad now has, when I do this drill, I am better at what my goal is, whatever my test. Again, I use gait, I use cerebellar assessments and vision assessments and some balance. Stand with your feet in line, or feet together. Stand with your feet in line. Stand on a single leg. Do all of that eyes closed. So again, is it better or is it worse? That's all I care about. Then the athlete brings theirs. I want to be better at hitting a curveball. Random example. Or I just want to hit the ball better. So that baseball player brings their session goal to our session. We see it, we warm it up, we test it, we go, that's as good as it is. Then we start training. In your assessments, we saw that these things weren't working well based on your health history as well. Let's start here with these drills. We do those drills. We see, is he hitting a baseball better? Is his gait improving? Is his cerebellar function improving? Are eye skills improving? Is his balance improving? When we get a yes, they've all improved, then it's a matter of, well, based on that, is there anything that gets us a higher value retest? And that 45 minutes later, the next athlete's in, the athlete walks out. Ideally, 2 to 5 different drills that are activating different areas of their brain that are required or that showed positive retests. And that's one component. I got there within the academy that I worked with in San Diego. It was so fun. We would do our team warm-up, and then I'd say individual time. And every kid would, like, no joke, standing on a sideline, you'd have a kid standing on a single leg doing pencil push-ups. You'd have another one doing saccades on the diagonals. You had another kid doing wrist figure eights while he's doing VORs. Like, again, they tested well for that individual, and those kids were bought in because, again, they felt it. They felt the difference, and better is better. In the real world, subjective wins. I feel better matters, not it's scientifically proven, it has this p-value, so we can use it. That's going to change as long as we're doing research. Better doesn't change, it's better. So that's what I focus on. And all those kids did those drills. They were pioneers. They didn't care that the other team is looking at them going, what is this kid doing? They just went, I am better because I do these things. So when I would say drill time or individual time, they just got right to it. Some kids are laying on their back doing a breathing drill. Like, it's freaking awesome when you get into completely individualized performance coaching. Like, sure, 2 kids might use the same drill, but it's not because I went, no, everyone's going to do this drill. So that's one component of a neuro-athletic performance coach on staff. It is individualized assessment, individualized training, building behaviors so that these athletes are living a more appropriate lifestyle for high-level athletics. The goal is that any head coach has better players that are actively improving, not just kind of hoping they stay that good, and are less likely to get hurt, less injury prone, and if they do get hurt, getting returned back to play faster. And that's where I would start working with an athletic trainer, a physical therapist, someone of the sort that is working on the mechanics of the body. We would just make sure that we connect the neurology of all of that stuff with, again, we've already assessed them. We already know what the best activations for them are. We also know what needs to be rehabbed. It's not okay if you look at that target and you get stiff. It's not okay. That needs rehab. Your brain is for some reason saying that I'm not good with looking to my left and stabilizing my gaze. We have to figure those things out, because I don't want a batter that needs to potentially look out their left eye a little bit, or their eyes to the left a little bit, getting stiffer when they're hitting. I want them to be able to swing as free as they need to get on base and to give our team a chance, the best chance possible to win. So there's the individual component with that performance coach on staff. Then there's the fun part with team stuff. I mentioned itineraries for if I was on that Belgium team. That Belgium team keeps coming to mind. What? Such good players. Really liked the style that they played, and they just fell apart. So disappointing to see the backup goalkeeper, who is a phenomenal goalkeeper, spill one when you can't. I'm sitting there going, I wonder what it takes for him to hold that in that moment. If he can keep it 1-1, my goodness, what happens? So, or can we keep Courtois healthy? My God, he's the best goalkeeper in the world, and he is not in the place that you need him most. Miserable. So, the team component is, what are we doing and how is it impacting our brains? It's a very interesting world and difference. So we would be looking at in a team environment, we would look at activities. What are some activities that we could drive neural change? I still use a test and retest method for all of that. And it's just in the group, and the athletes have to test those things on their own. And obviously, since I'm not one-on-one with someone, we can't really boil down and really get into the weeds. It's much more general. So everyone's going to work on moving their heads, test and retest. Oh, you got worse, you got better. Great. I'm going to start creating groups for training. Those that get worse, you're going to be on this path. Those that improved, you're going to be on this path. So that's one component. It's just creating I used to have Sports Performance Monday. It was my day to do anything and everything I felt necessary to improve the athletes of our program. So we worked on mechanics. We worked on running mechanics, stopping mechanics, change of direction mechanics, arm swing. We worked on peripheral awareness, saccades, smooth pursuits, vergence, VOR, VORC. We worked on different power development, different energy system development, respiration, meditation, mindfulness, what I call neuro-walking, using your eyes, using your head, using your respiration on purpose, consciously, while you're doing walking activities. I loved Sports Performance Monday. It was so fun. So it'd be something like that, where I'm programming different things that challenge brains and create novelty for the athlete. Novelty is important, getting stuck in the minutia and thinking about things always the same way, working the same way. Brains kind of start to tune out. They need novelty. They need something to go, what's this? The other components, like at these World Cups, it's like the team is together all the time. They aren't going home. So what are we doing with them? The things that come to mind initially are having a morning block where it would be like team activity and then 3 options of activities, because not every person is the same. So to say everyone does this, then everyone does this. No, the team chemistry, the team building, that component, put them together. And then as soon as it becomes hey, we need to recover. We've got another game coming up. We just played a game. We just got into our hotel on the road, something of the sort. Then it would start to become breakout activities of might get to an assessment process of, hey, you assess this, so you have these couple options, or you assess this way, you would have those 2 options, or so on. But generally, it would be Everybody gets up at the same time. Everybody is immediately out on a walk because neurologically we know early morning light is very important for our circadian rhythm and them falling asleep that next night. It also does good things for waking, and natural light is massively important for our nervous system, especially the visual component. So it'd be get up, go on a neuro walk. We'll be breathing different ways. We'll be looking different ways. We'll test and retest. We'll test. Balance, for example, go for our neuro walk. You should have a better balance at the end. If you don't, that's where I would have to come in and go, okay, look, we got to put you back together. Like, it's not okay that like looking around while you walked broke you, but it did. So now we need to just fuel you up, and I will see you for 30 minutes to make sure that you are testing better. Again, real world, better is better. So if I just keep making sure that important athletic skills are improving and staying better athlete. I don't think I have to argue that balance is a kind of important athletic skill, and it's something that can be improved drastically. I see it a lot. It's one of my favorite tests, to see a kid just all over the place losing their balance to pretty much going lengthening out, getting comfortable, like improving things. It's so fun to watch. And it happens like that. And yes, you have to put work in, but wouldn't you rather know the work you're putting in will make a positive impact? I remember like going to a PT, getting the 6 exercises they wanted me to do for the next like 4 weeks or whatever it was, and remembering like, I don't feel better now. Like, I just went to PT. They did all these things on my arm, on my shoulder at the time. I don't feel better. I don't feel like I could go play better right now, but now I have 4 and 5 exercises that I've got to do 5 sets of 20 of. At what point does it get better? If it didn't get better now, well, adaptation, whatever, that's loose. If we add neurology, you should know the direction quickly. If we don't know the neurology, yeah, give it the old college try. Put your effort into it. Then that person doesn't get better. They go back to the PT. What does the PT say? Oh, you didn't do your exercises enough. You didn't do them right. You didn't do them well. Might not have been the right exercise. Plain and simple. If they don't feel better walking out, especially longer term, like there's that nice therapy effect. I think chiropractors call them the parking lot patients. They feel better. Thanks, doc. I feel a lot better. I scheduled my next session. I'll see you next week. By the time they get in the car, their back problem's back. Parking lot patients. So we have a lot of therapies out there that don't resolve the issue, but at least make it manageable. We want to get resolution, because the longer that thing is left unmanaged, unresolved, the more complications are going to come from it when something new pops in. So we do want things to function better now, so that you know when you do your homework, when you put the work in, you are in the right direction. We already know. I feel better. Great. Every time we do that drill, you know you're going to feel better. So neuro walks, there was a little tangent. What we eat, like I would love to pick the menu. We were in Florida. I was with a team at dinner, I was responsible for picking the dinner spot for this team. So I'm looking, like, I've never been to Florida, or I've been to Florida, but as a kid, like I haven't been there to like pick my own restaurant. So I'm looking through, I'm like, nah, deep fried stuff, bad oils. I don't want to take them to an American restaurant. Again, bad oils, probably low quality stuff. Man, just keep looking. I find this hole in the wall Cuban restaurant. It was family owned. I had to call and go, hey, I got 18. Is that okay? And they're like, thank you for calling. If you are involved with sports and you are not calling places ahead, shame on you. That's not fair to them. They get bombarded. They'll take the money all day, but even a couple hours notice of, hey, heads up, you're going to ramp up your amount of food making by 18 times here in a second. They appreciate it. And so I called them, said, hey, can you accommodate us? Yes. I look at the menu. I'm like, if I can help them make the choices, this is a great spot. and like there was like the Cubano was there. I gave them one. I did kind of select their menu for them. Said, hey fellas, it was we were going into day three, or it was the off day at the time. It was play 2 days, off day, play the fourth day. So we're on our off day. I went, fellas, we're going into day four. We're two matches under the belt. Can we make a choice that will help us perform better in tomorrow's match? And the boys were like, yeah, whatever. Like, what do you think? And I went, I'm not trying to eliminate the menu. Like, I would say if we had a bread option instead of this sandwich, could we go Cubano? And they went, oh yeah, dude, no problem. Like, so don't eat these. If you do want something along those lines, this. Otherwise, it was so simple and delicious. Meat, rice, fried plantains, and was it yucca root, something like that. It was just delicious. It was like stewed meat. I still remember it. Like that was my first real like, hey, you want Cuban food? Not one person in here outside of you guys speak English. It was so delicious. So that was our meal. So I love doing that kind of stuff of going, what do we need to eat to maximize our performance? If it's a menu, great. This is how we would build that menu. And so that would be a component of it. We would be looking at active recovery sessions. So many athletes don't know what to do to ensure and build back up their performance. They just go, rest. So they end up napping and sleeping, crazy important, but not the only options. They sit on their phones. They watch TV. They play video games. Might go out with buddies and play another sport. But that's not quite the active recovery that I think of. I think of active recovery as deliberate efforts to restore and improve. Cell phone time doesn't restore and improve. Screen time doesn't restore and improve. Going out and playing with buddies has a little bit more of a balance of at least restore, but you're also now tasking your neurology with another sport. So there's also a demand in that. And it's just a balancing act. How much can we do without tipping the scale one way or another? So we would have sessions where we do body scans, respiration drills, just global test retest. So here's a vision drill. Everyone test and retest. Build your own library of 5 drills that your toe touch improved on. And that's what we would have them start doing. Pool recovery work is much different now with a neuro background than it was with a biomechanics background. It's still phenomenal. I just use it a lot differently and think it is light resistance training, especially with complex nonlinear movement. And it allows freedom of movement because gravity is obviously different. So we move a lot in different ways. We have some fun, get everybody smiling, but it is not we do not want the exhaustion component of kids playing in the pool. But there are some great things that you can do in the pool that will help a lot of athletes. We would get into movement sessions. We would just have these blocks and recommendations for, hey, it's downtime. You got 2 hours to you guys' self. You can do whatever you want, but remember, education, behavior modification, we're not looking for it to be 2 hours of cell phone time. We're not looking for it to be 2 hours of TV time. We're not looking for a 2-hour nap even. We want you to sleep tonight. We want you to take advantage of a nap, but not 2 hours. So then it's, well, what do we do, coach? That's where we've already set up. What are some healthier neural activities in your off time? Read, paint. That would be so fun. Like bring a bunch of art stuff and like do an art class with your team. Like again, it's great for your brain. Doing something with music. meditation, mindfulness practices, going for a walk with a couple teammates, doing something nice and easy. Those are good ones. Read, music, art. Obviously, if you're in a different place, can we create an event where we're doing something fun? Like I 2 years in a row brought a team of 13-year-olds to San Diego, and all the other teams are doing SeaWorld and the safari park and the zoo and all of these like like really cool. Don't get me wrong, but if you're here to win soccer games, those are really taxing. 6 hours walking around in the sun. Well, 13-year-olds running around in the sun, losing their minds in a very stimulating environment. Yeah, they crash. But taking him, we took him to tide pools. We did take him to the beach, played a little bit, but monitored, crashed in the waves a little bit, but monitored. We took him to like not the chain restaurants, some of the restaurants that I knew that could cater to 14 or 18 whatever kids. So a little bit better food choices. We took them to Old Town so they could walk through Old Town. It's got a really cool vibe to it. We did ultimately all of the free options that I thought will stimulate their brain in the way that we want to. Our goal is to win soccer matches. So to win the soccer match, to have the most rested players that are performing at their best with the lowest likelihood of injury. So there's that component of travel trips and what do we do when we're on the road? How do we behave? I build itineraries. Hey, here's our day. And it is specifically around making sure your brain is ready to rock every time you go out to play. So the other components would be like the match day, the game day, having a updated brain-centered applied neurology warm-up. You could combine any type of warm-up drills that you want. I would just put mine at the very end. So if you're a baseball player and you're working on your band stuff and the shaker stuff and you want to stretch and it makes you feel better, great, do all of it. And then we'll do the neuro stuff and then we'll get onto it. So prehab, activation, just making it a neuro flavor. Then throwing in cool downs, active recovery, again, neuro flavor. So breathing stuff, mindfulness stuff, balance work after they're fatigued, crazy important. You want better balance when you are exhausted because a lot of times that's when things get hurt. And we need to be able to function and perform when fatigued. So go figure, training your brain when fatigued is one of the best ways to do that. So there's a little bit about a neuro-athletic performance coach on staff. It is a lot of fun. It fits in a position that is untouched right now. Like an athletic trainer shouldn't have to try and like get a team ready to perform. They are there for the on-field injury assessment and the initial rehabilitation plan. Same with physical therapists. That's not a performance job. That is a you broke. How do we put you back together job? My orthopedic surgeon, that's not a performance job. Again, it's I broke. How do we put you back together? Massage therapy. They like to think it's a performance job, considering how many guys that's their only method, like it's ice bath and massage. Those are really the only big options. But I look at that as much more, it needs to be tested. If we test your receptors and you respond phenomenally to a certain type of sensation, we would do that sensation in your massage. Or get your massage and we test and retest around it. So we test your gait, we test your cerebellum, we test your balance, we test your vision skills, we test the activity that's important to you, going back to hitting more curveballs, and you get your massage, and then we retest all of those. If you're worse from that, right after that massage, the massage argument is, oh no, you need to take 24 hours, you need to hydrate more. It doesn't work that way. If it's a good, it should improve that person immediately. If it's not, we need to break it down and figure out why. So there really is, yes, there's, they kind of look like the new age fitness class instructor. There are performance coaches on sidelines in a lot of sport and soccer. They are the exercise demoers. So they demo the exercise and then all the athletes do it. And again, it looks like a group exercise class to me. So really it's a matter of a performance coach going, okay, I want to have them do this, and then I'll have them do this, then I'll have them do this, then I'll have them do this. And then they just kind of build their model around, I think it's probably Exos based. It's specifically MLS soccer. Like they used to contract only to Exos. I think Exos is now not even working with athletes. I think they're into like corporate wellness. So they're working with target employees. So you got a whole class of professionals working with professional athletes. And that company that they learned from didn't even care to stick around. They went, yeah, there's more money in this corporate wellness thing. So even the gold standard for strength and conditioning, performance, Exos is no longer a thing, but I think still, if you have Exos stuff, you still get put on top of the stack when it comes to resumes and applications. Maybe we'll come around, maybe we won't, but I think the MLS will come around just because it's still a small business in comparison. So once they learn that there are things that you can do that make your athletes better, maybe just maybe our country could be leading in something that's not illness and going the wrong direction. So yeah, that's what I thought about. It's just so fun thinking about like, man, all right, I'm a part of Belgium. I'm a part of a baseball team. I'm a part of a volleyball team. I'm a part of this organization. My job is make the athlete's brains as healthy as possible, knowing that a healthier brain is a higher performing person, less likely to get hurt, more likely to get better from the experience in their sport. So now you've got a freshman. Michael Jordan's story is one of my all-time favorites. I've watched The Last Dance too many times. That is my jam. I love it. There was a one moment where they were talking to one of his college teammates from North Carolina. He goes, "Yeah, I was better than Michael when Michael got to UNC for about 2 weeks, and he just got a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better." Every time or every week he played. And man, I think that's what's possible for a lot more people. So really, having a neuro-athletic performance coach on staff is a commitment to reverse engineering high-level athleticism. That's what it is. It can't be a massage. It can't be a handful of PT exercises, a gym workout. It's not enough to drive a brain towards elite, highest level athletics. What it takes is individual focus, individual assessment, individual understanding of that person's history. What are they coming to me with? All of it. I want to know anything and everything because I don't get to determine what matters. I just get to work with what you are. So assessing everyone individually, individualized brain or applied neurology sessions for themselves or drills for themselves, itineraries that make sure that brains are working at their highest level going into competition, understanding what competition does to a brain and making sure that the rehab, cool down, recovery efforts are matching what the brains need. It's a different world, and we don't have that piece in anywhere I know of. I would love to get some feedback on this to go, actually, it's happening here, and this is what's going on. I would love to know that. But that's it for the day. A neuro-athletic performance coach infusing into a team is an exciting thought process, and man, super powerful from my experience. I have had a blast doing it. I just haven't found that again since the pandemic, unfortunately. But process. Keep working, keep putting your head down, keep improving. Who knows what'll happen?